learn to understand and get in touch with your body. Welcome back to my channel. This is Vanessa. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Okay, let's get into this because this is a very personal topic that I want to share with you and hopefully inspire you or support you in some way. Maybe you take something from this that helps you. All right, where to start? I'm just letting the channeling come through me right now. Okay, so I just come from a workout class, which was amazing. It was like Pilates, fusion, flexibility, strength class. And this morning I woke up pretty late and I felt like, am I gonna go? And then I was like, no, Vanessa, you are gonna go. And I didn't say this to force myself. I said this with love because I felt like the last couple of days I didn't move much. And in the past I would have used that as like a punishment, sort of, as a punishment sort of to be like, you didn't move, now you gotta work out, you lazy ass, But I've changed my relationship with my body so much that now I can see lovingly and say to myself lovingly, hey, this will make you feel so good. And it's not to punish you. It's not because there's something wrong with your body. It's simply because it will make your body feel so good and you will feel so connected to your body. Okay, let me elaborate on this. I grew up in a way, and I really hope you can hear me because there's some wind. Let's see afterwards. I grew up in a way where I felt that being skinny is important, being thin is important, like having long hair and being thin is sort of like, my mom always said, this is like my capital, this is like what's important, how I'm dressed, how I look, how I do my hair, am I thin, but it was never the question of am I healthy, which is something completely different than am I thin. Being healthy was never something that was like a topic at home. Being healthy was like, oh, you have a headache, take a tablet, take a pill. But it was never, okay, let's feel our body, let's move so we can, feel our muscles and feel strong and support our spine. It was never anything like that. And I think a lot of people grew up in this way that we learned, okay, it's important to look good and be skinny, but I didn't learn what was the connection with health, And then I hated sports in school. I had a problem with my spine, so later I didn't have to go to sports anymore, which was so good, but in that moment for me, because that felt safe, because I broke my arm twice in sports class in school, and so I had like a trauma of having to do sports. And so my mom always said I'm clumsy, so I've always felt like I'm not sporty, I'm clumsy. And then when my parents split up, I felt often quite alone and quite like the world is on my shoulders, like I had to manage my mom and my dad and my grandmother and so on, and their relationship with each other. But then I also had like a difficult relationship to my mother, and that I had to handle too, and then I felt alone, and all these things accumulated. I'm saying this not to get pity, this is stuff I've worked through. I'm just sharing that because I think sometimes we don't make the connection between how we grow up, why we develop certain habits, and how they influence us later in life. So I hope you can hear me with the wind. Let me know. So I grew up in that way, that being skinny is important and how you look is important, but health itself was never really something that was explained to me in a mature way, like, why it's good to eat healthy and stuff like that. So I grew up in this way, and then I put on a lot of weight because I felt really lonely, and I felt like very under pressure to manage all the different people in my family, but also manage my own emotions. And I was very young. I was probably like 8, 9, 10 when I like really put on a lot of weight. And food was for me like my instant gratification. It was the thing that I filled the void with, that I had because I didn't feel like this emotional connection to my family. And there was not really something like therapy when parents split up, and I didn't really feel understood. So that was really something that was really hard for me to process, and the thing that really helped me in that was food. And anybody who ever suffered from any, I'm going to call it quite dramatic now, addiction, like cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, sex, shopping, food, the addiction is actually just a symptom of the root cause. So the addiction is sort of like the solution that you come up with because you don't know better. And I didn't know better. And I didn't even know, like as children, we don't know how to communicate that we're emotionally unsatisfied or feeling lonely and all these things, right? So that was quite hard. So I grew up, and then like then I started like working out and going swimming and stuff when I was a teenager, but that was more to lose weight for prom and all these kind of things. I did lose a lot of weight, and then I got to the point where people, like my parents, thought like I was anorexic, but I wasn't. And I was just like moving a lot because I was riding bikes with my friends and eating healthier and all these kind of things, because I was starting to educate myself as a teenager. So then I was too thin, and it just happened like this yo-yo effect, sort of in my 20s as well. Then I left to travel the world, and had a lot of alcohol and partying when I lived in Australia, and a lot of sweets and unhealthy food, and I didn't like to work out. And then when I came back to living in Berlin, I started working out because my friends did, and I started feeling really good. I started eating healthier and all these things, and I felt really good about myself. Then I moved to South America, and it was just like really good. But when I lived in Chile in South America, I did feel a little lonely. I was learning the language, and I wasn't surrounded by people that I really enjoyed to be with. I had a lot of alcohol, student parties and that stuff. So I put on a lot of weight again, or a bit of weight again. And it was just a yo-yo. And then I moved to Brazil, and I lost a lot of weight again because I was working out a lot. But this like back and forth was always influenced by the people around me, rather than knowing what feels good to me and what feels healthy to me. And it was more influenced by, oh my God, I need to lose weight, otherwise I lose this person, like this relationship, or these friends, or I don't belong and I'm not wanted. And I think that was all like a consequence of when I like put on weight as a child, of feeling mobbed and like not wanted and all these things back then. So that's why I felt like this internal force to, oh my God, if you want to be loved, then you need to be thin. So I went through these yo-yo times all the time. And I was like, I shamed myself a lot for that. And then after South America, when I came back to Berlin, I was in such a good place actually, because I started to work out to feel good. And I realized like my body feels healthy, I feel strong, I'm eating the things that are good for me. So I really went into educating myself because I had a good friend who was teaching me a lot about it. And then when I came back to Berlin and feeling so good, then again I had people around me that said, oh, you're too sporty now, you're too thin, you're eating too healthy, you know, and I was at the mercy a lot of like what the people around me said, and I always felt like I couldn't get it right. And when you feel like you can't get it right, it's frustrating, because even though you may be happy with yourself, you may feel like, oh, is this okay now? Do I need to hide this information? And then back then I wasn't so conscious and aware yet. I didn't have the skills and the techniques and the tools that I learned then later on. And sometimes we're also going through health challenges, which was something that came later for me, burnout and a lot of trauma coming up in the form of anxiety and panic attacks. And in the end of my late 20s, starting of 30s. And I just had to, I just couldn't walk so much or move so much. It felt all really unsafe to me. And I'm sharing all that not for pity at all. Like I'm really in peace with my journey with that. But I thought, especially women, also men probably, but everybody, sometimes not everybody, but many people have difficulty being in touch and accepting who they are in their body, and also finding out what feels healthy to me, what feels good to me, who do I want to be without the outside influence that tells me all the time, oh, I need to drink matcha or eat only protein or keto and all this stuff, No, you need to find out for yourself what works for you. And my time of working through a lot of deep trauma and anxiety and panic attacks, like that time, that was like really a time where I had to deepen into self-acceptance and self-love, because I had no other choice. I was like, that was what I had to do to heal. And so I asked myself all these questions of, okay, so this is what people in the outside world, like all the noise, I tuned it out. I already had all this, what people are supposed to eat and drink and work out and blah, blah, blah. And to be honest, sustainably, it never worked for me, because I needed to figure out for myself first, what is my energy type? What feels good to me? What feels so exhausting to me that after working out, I'm actually getting sick and I cannot work out for a week or two, right? Because these times I also had when I went full in 5 times a week to the gym or any sports, and I got super ill because it was just too much for my body and nervous system to handle at once. That's why, and I said this in other videos, slow processes, slow progress is so healthy for you, because you get your nervous system used to the updates and the changes, and it's a love language as well, because you're not forcing yourself and pulling yourself into something because from the standpoint of fear of not being accepted, being loved, being disgusting, not fitting in, being seen as different from others. And it's really a journey of tuning out of all the noise around you and starting to listen to your body, because even the challenging signals your body sends you, like anxiety, panic, depression, problems with your gut, right? Problems with like your heart rate or whatever, that are all just symptoms that your body is screaming to be seen and heard and acknowledged by you. And it's your job to find out, like really taking on self-responsibility there and listen. And maybe that means also sometimes trying out different things that work for you. But I just want to reassure you that there's a way out, and there's a way for you to feel sustainably good about yourself. And yes, sometimes you have dips. Life is a roller coaster, right? But there is the chance for you to attune to who you are and not look out on the outside world the whole time and trying to figure out, how can I be more like them? No. Try to be more like you. Try to connect to yourself and align to who you are, because people talk about all the time like you gotta raise your consciousness and all this stuff. I don't really agree to that, because it again gives people anxiety to be something else than they are. You have a center frequency, you already have a frequency. It's like every product in the supermarket has a barcode, right? And you need to scan it in order to have it in the system and then pay for it, right? But it's actually like this with our home frequency, or with our center, with our unique frequency. Because if something is in front of the barcode, we cannot scan it. I don't know if this example makes sense, but to me it makes sense. So let me know, I can explain it more. If there's something in front of the barcode, we cannot scan it, right? Let's say there's a banana in front of your rice package. You cannot scan it. And if there is conditioning and parts that are like layers that aren't actually yours and aren't actually you, but you took them on in order to belong or be loved or be accepted, then whatever you're attracting to you, what's natural to be attracted by you, what you deserve, cannot connect to you, because there are layers of filters that separate you from what's yours, right? So you may push this away because of certain conditioning and certain beliefs that you are not worthy or deserving of something. So I think our relationship to our body has often a big relationship in this, a big say in this. I can't find the right word right now. Like it's a big thing in this, because we are living in a world where we are seen by others. I mean, look at social media. We're looking at how people look like. So I just really want to emphasize that the most important thing is that you connect to yourself, tune out all the outside noise, and get to know what your body needs. What are the nutritions that it needs that makes you feel good? What is the type of movement that works for you, that makes you feel good? And something that really helped me in finding out what my energy type, my body, my soul craves. And different location, I'm sorry, my phone died on me again. So what I was saying just now in the park was basically that what helped me a lot to understand my energy type. And with energy type, I really mean, how my system functions and what it needs to operate in the way that makes me feel happy, that makes me feel alive, that makes me feel energetic and supported, and like I'm capable and willing to go for what I want and to live out myself fully. One thing that really helped me is actually human design. I don't know if you've ever heard about this, but human design is like an energetic system that you can look into, not similar to astrology, but in the realm of those kind of systems and things. And when you look at it, you can put your age, you can put your birth date, location, and you get out basically there are 5 or 6 different types, and you can check what is your energy type. That energy type will give you information about how much energy you have actually. And obviously it's super important that you not just simply believe what it tells you, but see if it resonates to you. For example, I'm a projector, so that means I don't have as much like energy available all the time as everybody else by myself. So I get amplified, my energy get amplified when I'm with a different energy type, like generators or manifesting generators. And that can bring me like, woo, like let's go. And that also means I need different types of workouts that don't like drain my energy, that I then have to sleep all day or something like that. So this is just something that really helped me understand not just my body and my emotions, but also like my energetic constellation. And what I mean by this is really like, what do I need to feel myself, to have the energy to pursue whatever I want to pursue? Yeah. So you cannot fake happiness, and you cannot fake health, and you cannot fake being yourself, being aligned to who you are. The only thing this is gonna help you get there is when you tune out the noise of what everybody else is doing. It can inspire you, but don't force yourself to be that, because this is like a thing in society, right? Like we're trying to do it the way others are doing it in order to be successful. Define what means health to you. And even if you, like, not just health, but what means health to you, success to you, being happy to you, feeling good in your body. And even if you haven't learned this as a child, I haven't either. Nobody taught me what being healthy means. Nobody asked me, how do you feel? What does healthy feel like to you? What does happy feel like to you? So as an adult, you get to now indulge and ask yourself these questions, because it's super, super powerful, and it also detaches you from the validation of others, because suddenly you become literally the creator of your life, but also the leader of yourself, because you can say, oh no, actually that's not for me, thank you, I tried that, doesn't work for me, without feeling embarrassed or insecure about it. You just learn what works for you. And for the longest time I thought I'm clumsy and I'm not athletic and stuff like that, and it's not true. But it's on you, it's on me, it's on you, it's on us to look inside and realize, what do I believe about myself? And is that really true? Or is this something I've picked up somewhere along the way? And now I get to actually question those beliefs, those behaviors, whatever it is. Yeah, and also like it has everything to do with choosing. You get to choose. And that also has to do with sometimes forgiving yourself for making choices that you are not aligned with. And it has to do with softness. It has to do with slowing down, softening, and, teaching that voice in your head that is compulsive, or that is punishing you, or being super critical and mean, teaching that voice that she or he that this is not the way anymore. And whoever that voice belongs to, may it be your mom or your dad or whatever, just let them know, listen, thank you. I know you do this to keep me safe, to keep me on my toes so that I fit in or be loved. But it hasn't really worked, has it? I'm not really happy, am I? I'm not really satisfied. So let me take the lead. Tell that to this voice. It's a part of you. Yeah, it's a part of you that adopted the voice of a parent or a teacher or whoever, or yourself. And just let them know, I take the lead now. Thank you. And I see what you're doing. You mean well, but this is not working for me anymore. Because we need to soften and act with compassion towards ourselves, and stop this idea of, oh, I need to lose weight, or I need to get away of this pimple, or whatever it is right now, immediately, otherwise I'm not worthy. Let yourself grow. Choose the actions that you want to take. And sometimes we take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and it's okay. But, focus on what feels right to you and discover. Life's a journey. Life is here for us to discover. what is right for us. And in order to do so, sometimes we need to tune out that voice or that sound around us of everybody's voices on social media and magazines and your friends and everybody. Only you can truly know and feel what's good for you when you tune into your body. Yeah. And another last thing I say before we close this video, figure out, do I really like red lipstick? Do I really like the color of fingernails? Do I actually like long hair, colored hair? Yeah, like ask yourself. It's also actually a fun process to, it can be playful when you take out a little bit the seriousness of, being an adult doesn't mean you need to be serious. Maturity means also allowing yourself to do and be whoever you are and want to be. So decide, am I okay with having hair under my arms? Do I do this for me or not? And if the answer is I'm not doing it for me, I'm just doing it to make a statement, maybe don't do it. Or it's just a stupid random example, but like, do I like hair on my body? Yeah, I don't mind. I like that. It keeps me warm. Keep it. Do I not like it? Take it off. Do I like earrings? Wear them. Do I not? Take them off. Do I like yogurt? Eat it. Do I like, ask yourself, this probably sounds so tedious and so like weird, but those little things matter because you get to know what your psyche is hiding, what you take on from other people all your life. And sometimes we need to turn around the stones to understand, okay, like this is me. I've always known it, but now I just double checked and now I'm sure this is me, So not everybody's going to resonate with this video, and I'm totally fine with that. But for those of you who do, don't give up. You've got this. And I'm, for myself right now, in a place where I decided to not stress myself out anymore about doing it all, everything right all the time. Like, alignment doesn't mean we need to be perfect. Perfect, what does it even mean? It doesn't exist. So alignment means acting on your soul, your heart, what feels good to you, what feels right to you. And sometimes that means slowing down. And sometimes that means facing our fear and walking through it. Like me this morning when I was like, should I really go to that class? And for me, it was really good that I went. But other days I may feel so stressed, or I may feel dysregulated, and then I know it's not good for me to go to a class where there are 20 other people. And yeah, it's better for me to do either something at home or to just stretch or take a walk or stay at home and read a book on the couch. But you can only get to know what's right for you when you try. And when you decide for yourself and not always ask everybody else for advice all the time. Okay? Not saying that asking for advice is a wrong thing, not saying that. But if you're used to just always asking others for validation and advice, it's time that you learn to trust yourself a little more and take your own advice, listen to your body. Okay? Comment below how you feel about this topic, where you're at, what your experience has been. If you don't know what to say, just say, I'm brave, I'm here. Thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Let's grow this community. I just really want everybody to feel good in their life and in their body. And that's why I'm sharing. Alrighty, have a good rest of your day. And I speak to you another time.